Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to J&D Homestead. It is a lovely day here. The kids are actually at their grandparents' house today, so we're outside getting some extra odds and ends accomplished. We are about a week and a half away from our next processing date, and I was kind of looking at our birds today, and they're a little underweight. So I'm going to actually move them into our upper garden plot that we have resting this year for two reasons. One, we are in the heat/late bits of summer, so our grass is not recovering quickly just because it's not spring. And so where they're at right now on the pasture is not recovering quickly, and so I want to get them off so that the grass can recover well as we're headed into fall. And then second, I'm hoping putting them in that garden where the grass is huge and tall. I know chickens don't care for tall grass, but I'm hoping it will provide a lot of extra seeds and greens and stuff to help them gain a little bit of extra weight in addition to the feed that they get. So we're going to grab a fence and get them moved over there. I don't know if you guys can see the line. Camera wants to focus on my finger. But there's a line through the grass. The cats have been going outside the fence down that path into those woods back there. It's funny. I have very small hands, and I'm not the tallest person on the planet. So I love them because of the flexibility, and I can put birds where I want them, or actually was using this for a sheep fence last week. But so that's awesome. But when I go to move it, my hands and my height plus the fence, we don't get along. Look how pale the grasshopper is. This cat's gonna come over and interrupt me. Hello, gato. Hey, donkey cat. Yeah. Where'd it go? You guys see it? How pale it is. It might be a cicada. I don't know. That's a bug. It's a very pale bug. So, almost made it, but we dropped a couple. Because of those 3 lone poles, I will be doing some detangling. But first, we're actually going to go in the garden and weed eat some fence lines so that the fence can be against the ground, so hopefully the birds don't go under the fence. Did you guys enjoy your view of the sky? Okay, so I got some portions weed-eated. We're gonna see how far this fence will go. This short fence here is, I think, a 50-foot fence. So that kind of gives me a good idea of probably about 30, 40 feet across. I don't remember how big the fence is. So we're gonna wrestle with the poultry net now. My tail is causing me issues. All right, so if you're like me and have watched other people do these chicken fences just with ease, and you're like, wow, that's so not me, you're welcome. You are in company, because good Lord, I can't set these things up without them tangling. Very rarely, if ever. Here we go. Now I have to figure out my return path through this jungle. Let's see. Okay, so like this is yarrow. All this purple is spearmint. I've got some chives here. So I think I have plenty. I think I'm gonna come around my what is supposed to be asparagus patch, which is overgrown and horrible right now. So come down here and then cut straight across and see where that puts us. The cow knocked you guys over. I'm so sorry. Come back. Evidently, she did not want you to see something. Let's try to get you back up here. Come back, friends. Okay, so we got that all fenced in. Now the interesting process of getting these birds that are all over the place because the panel got left off last night. Getting them from there all the way to here. I'm gonna go get some food and hopefully their bellies are hungry. Okay, so ideally what is gonna happen, and I say ideally because let's be honest and realistic here. When you're dealing with animals, there is a 100% possibility that they will not cooperate. So, ideally what will happen is I open their fence, they follow my buckets, and go to their lovely new paddock. Since half of them are out, I'm hoping that this will be successful. However, I am a realist, so here we go. Hang on. I forgot to turn your tail off. Just a second. Now I have ducks that have observed treats, but we'll get them out. Overall, I would call this a success. All right, so obviously I didn't catch them all, but I will come back probably this evening once they've settled in and grab the couple that are still stragglers and get them in and let the animals do some of the work as far as eating bugs and trampling that down and getting that prepared for me to cover it later this fall. All right, so I'm very excited to have that accomplished. Now, I know some people probably are like, why are you resting that plot of land? Why is that land such a mess? Well, that piece of garden is actually the place we cultivated first when we moved on this property. About, this is the 7th gardening season that we've done that plot of land. And so I really felt like as I was reading and praying through this year that God was asking me to rest that land, to Sabbath that land. So we opted to not plant on it. We've harvested a little bit out of it, but not a ton. And then we're preparing for hopefully next year to really turn that into like a perennial space. When we first moved here, it was me, Tim, and 2 little baby boys. We had vision of chickens and a garden, and that was it. Since then, we have added to our troop 3 other mouths to feed. We have expanded our homestead immensely in the last 5 years. We've learned a lot, we've failed a lot. And so something that I've really learned through all of this is hard work is important, but so is rest and fun and beauty. So I'm going to turn that into a perennial spot for herbs and medicinal things, blueberries, rhubarb, things like that, in order to create that like as a pretty place, but also as a place of just recurring abundance. And then the lower pot will be more of our seasonal vegetables and annual things. So that's why we're resting that this year, if any of you were wondering. But we're using the animals to manure that, to add to the health of the soil, since it's not been rested since we tilled it 7 years ago. And we just need it to be different than what we originally planned. Originally, that was going to be our garden space. Well, I learned something in my great intentions of fencing it in, that the rail fencing is great for chickens to roost on. And so in my brilliance, I was like, well, I'm going to electrify it. And I ran a single strand of electric wire around the top, failing to fully understand how electricity works, in that the chickens are not grounded. So like a squirrel on a wire, they're not going to get shocked by it. So we've opted to make that a little bit more of a friendly chicken space, perennial space, and then build Fort Knox on the lower spot for our vegetables and things. So, but that's about all I've got for you today. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna go in and grab some breakfast and get a drink of water and see what the rest of the day holds. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.